Hey, it's Maria here from hockeytrainingpro.com. I specialize in off-ice training for hockey goalies, which pretty much means I show you the right exercises to do off the ice so you can win more games with fewer injuries on the ice. Today, we're talking hand-eye coordination drills. A lot of you work on juggling, and I prescribe it. I put it in my programs. If you're in the Turning Pro coaching group, you get juggling in your workouts. And I think I've mistakenly been sort of calling it hand-eye training. And really, I think it is more just dexterity training. So there isn't that much of a hand-eye coordination. It's really establishing a pattern and a rhythm and really being able to throw the ball in the same plane repeatedly so that you can juggle them consistently. So it's a little more of a dexterity training tool than really a hand-eye tool. Which again, dexterity is fine, there's nothing wrong with that. But it got me thinking, how can I better train that true hand-eye coordination and you know what they call tracking, which you know, my friend Steve McKeegan basically is like, watch the puck. This is what tracking is, you know, and tracking that right into your hand, into your glove. So this is what I've come up with, and I want it to be cheap, something that anybody can do anywhere, and something that's going to be effective. And I know there are some facilities and some, you know, expensive tools you can use that I think actually work really, really well. You know, some very smart people have designed those, but I'm looking for something that all y'all can do with you know, nothing. So what I'd like you to do is get at least 6 like lacrosse balls, tennis balls, racket balls, I don't care, whatever it is, and they don't even all have to be the same. And if you get a big Sharpie marker and then write, you know, different numbers on them. So let's number them. I numbered mine 1 to 3, and then I'm going to show you some drills. But when you number them, I even got different colors and stuff like that. But when you number them, like, put the numbers on at least 4 sides, and then nice big bold numbers like that. So what I've done is I've placed the balls in just this box. It would be a box, a bag. When I used to train Jeff Hackett, I just had this old shopping bag that I had all sorts of balls in. But and what I want you to think about is trying to make mostly overhand catches. So I see a lot of you juggle and it's underhand. I don't mind underhand, but if you look on the ice, you're probably more often using your glove up in this range. And I don't mind if you do your blocker hand and your glove hand as well. And then I also like it if you can get some that'll go that low to high, you know, trajectory, so that the ball is kind of raising up at you as it comes off the wall. I kind of like that too. Is it, you know, a little bit more of a rising shot off the ice. There's not very often that you know, the puck's coming down at you. So those are just kind of little things. But with this basic drill, all we're going to do is throw the ball and then try to see what the number is before it gets in the hand, and I'm following it and I'm trying to pick up what the number is before I catch it in my hand. And then I want to catch it in front of my body. I don't want to be catching it back here. So again, just trying to reinforce good habits. So I get that one, I drop it in, the next one, 2. Next one, 3. So going on, and then trying to get faster and faster and faster. So that's your basic version. Okay, so now I've taken, this is called odds and evens. I've taken all the number 3 balls out of the box, so I just have 1s and 2s in there. And then I placed a cone here and a cone here. So a blue cone here, an orange cone here. And what I'm going to do is, if that number is an odd number, I'm going to reach to my right to touch the blue cone. If it's an even number, I'm going to reach to the left to touch the orange cone. So now there's I have to interpret the data, but then there's also a motor response to that data. So let's just see how this goes. 2, 1, 1. Oh, I looked at it first. Did you see me cheat? 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. So we're trying to work through that, and it gets a little confusing, and I even fumbled the ball, but that's how that works. Now, I could progress the challenge in this. So the other day, and bless him, great kid, send me a video working on his hand-eye coordination and then adding in a real hard balance challenge. It was great. You know, he was battling for it. Excuse me. But it's like on the ice, not often are you having to use that hand-eye tracking with a big balance challenge, like standing on one foot. You know, it's usually more of a movement challenge. So I would love, so my advice was, like, that's awesome, and it's great to just work all different ways and creativity and variety. That's awesome. But also work in some movement, because that's a little more where you need that skill. So for this one, we could stand up, we could move the cones further apart, and now instead of it just being a touch, it could be a shuffle. You know, so shuffle 3 meters and back and grab the next ball. What we could also do with this one is, so I had like a orange, but I also have a blue lacrosse ball. So it could be, you know, if you throw it, you have to call the number, so number 1, but this is orange, so I have to touch the orange cone. You know, just different ways to make your brain work a little bit harder. I'm going to show you another one that's called super odds and evens that you'll see how terrible my math skills are. This is why I wasn't a mathematician. So what I'm going to do this time is I'll throw the ball. So this is a number 1. So I'm going to touch, put it back in, grab the next ball. That's a 1. Touch. No, that's a 1. So I add them together. So now I'm at 2. So I have to touch here because it's an even sum. So this one I throw, it's a 2, so that's 4. It's a 2, so that's 6. It's a 2, so that's 8. Wow, this is getting easy. It's a 1, so that's 9. So now I have to really process a lot of data and keep it going like that. I would just use 1s and 2s. It's hard enough. But again, we could take that so that you're standing up, that you have to shuffle, that you have to move forward, that you have to move backward. The pattern is endless, but you can see how that is a little bit more specific to what we need, number 1, on the ice than just, you know, juggling. Even juggling 3 balls off the wall, it's cool, but it's just a pattern. There isn't any sort of thinking that goes with it. I'm going to show you one more thing. This one does require some specialized equipment. I'm trying to think of a way to make it, you could just make it yourself at home. If you think of a way, let me know, send me a video. But it's using the rebounder. Here we go. So I have my box of lacrosse balls again. I'm just going to use 1 and 2s. And I have my cones set up again. So I'll show you a little bit how we could do it in a standing position. The rebounder is nice because I can throw it hard. It comes back pretty quick. But it also, sometimes when you throw the ball, so like usually we throw the ball, if we throw the ball off the wall or throw the ball off the wall here for it to come in low, it's spinning and it's really hard to see. I still want you to try, but it's really hard to see. The rebounder, it floats a little more. 1, and I can see that. So I'd shuffle, back, come in, 1, shuffle, come back, 1, shuffle, come back. I'm going to be great at moving to my right. But it's good. We use reaction balls off it as well. It dampens the rebound a little bit. It'll make it come just a little bit off-centered, but not totally crazy. So we can build like that. So I actually got tons of new ideas for hand-eye work, but that's sort of your first installment. But remember to train what you're trying to train. So don't make it a circus trick when really what we need is to watch that puck, follow it in, and make that contact. This is Maria from hockeytrainingpro.com. If you like this video, you got tons more over at Hockey Training Pro TV, and I'll catch you later.